Welcome back to another episode of North of the Lake Weekly Sports Talk Live, y'all. We is in episode 10, man. It's been 10 weeks of sports coverage for the North Shore, coverage for all our Louisiana colleges. Shout out to the LSU Tigers, the Southern Jaguars, and the Grambling Tigers was actually off this week in preparation for the Bayou Classic, man. But like I said, it was a quiet week in sports for Louisiana. The Saints was off today. LSU had a lesser opponent than Georgia State. So it was a kind of quiet weekend, man, to be honest with you, sports-wise, you know, in Louisiana. So things was kind of slow. This was round two for the high schools. The scores are at the bottom. This is round two of the playoffs for Louisiana high school football. Like I said, I have the scores for all our North Shore scores at the bottom. They are coming around now. St. Paul took care of business against, I think that's Tiago, 38-14. Newman defeated the St. Thomas Aquana. Shout out to our Tangy guys out there, but they did go down in round two, 45-0. Kentwood over Faraday, 46-8. Kentwood got the win, and Amy Warriors got the win, 21-0 over our Jewel Sumner brothers over there. Bugaloosa, 28-7 over, I think that's Laurelville. Zachary took down Salmon, 49-28. Mandeville got the win against St. Amar, 42-21. Walker over North Shore, 28-2. That's a weird score. And shout out to my cousin, Coach Maryland. They got the win out there in U-High. LSU took care of business. Troy over UL. Louisiana Tech goes down to Jayville. Southeastern having a tough season, man. Southeastern been having a rough season. They went down as well. And it was just a quiet week across Louisiana, man. Like I said, LSU had a lesser opponent this week. We had some high school games. Shouts out to all of our Tangy schools that did get the win. I see Kentwood got the dub. I see Amy took care of business, and I think that's it. I think that's the only two schools that did make it out of the Tangible Parish. But man, I'm gonna be short and sweet tonight. I got a flight early in the morning, so I'm gonna be short, sweet, and to the point, man. Like I said, once again, shout out to my cousin David Mallon out there at U-High, passing game coordinator for U-High. They took care of business 62-6 against Patrick Taylor. Shouts out to them, man. And moving on to the third rounds of the playoffs. Hopefully, Coach Maryland can join us here in a minute. But like I said, if you just joined the live, you officially North of the Lake with your boy Money Month for our 10th episode. We on episode 10, man. I'm happy that y'all still tuning in. Like I said, more great content is on the way. I'm going to keep getting better. Like I said, I wasn't supposed to be in studio tonight, but things my schedule kind of changed, so I'm in studio for today's, but next week I probably will take the show on the road, man. So y'all definitely tune in every Sunday. That's every Sunday at 7 p.m. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's NOTL Mon. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find all my lives. You can find all of my interviews that I do, all my videos. Man, like I said, thank y'all for y'all support. Like I said, this is episode 10. All the scores are at the bottom. LSU took care of business against Georgia State. Jaden Daniels is having a Heisman campaign. I'm not even sure what's the debate at this point when it comes to Jaden Daniels and his chances to win the Heisman, bro. Just go ahead and give it to the man. Like I said, he's having a historic season, man. Like I said, if y'all tuned in last week, y'all know that I attended the game last week against Florida, man. And Jaden Daniels put on a performance against Florida last week. He put on another great performance against Georgia State last night. I think he had 8 touchdowns. He had 5 through the air and 3 on the ground, man. So shout out to Jaden Daniels. I think his Heisman chances just improved with that performance that I seen. But that was really the only excitement we had this weekend, other than our high school wins that our Tangy guys got. Amy took care of business over Sumner, and also Kentwood took care of business as well. So Amy and Kentwood got the wins for Tangible Parish. They continue to advance into the third round. Shouts out to our Tangy guys. But like I said, it was kind of a quiet week outside of Tangy football and LSU. But LSU had Georgia State. They cruised to a victory. Like I said, y'all, I'm not gonna be long tonight. So thank y'all for joining in. Leave a comment if you can, and let me know what you thought about this week. Let me know what you thought about Tangy schools. If anybody in here representing Amy to Kentwood, chime in. Let me know how that went. I did not get a chance to check y'all out. It's been a busy week for me. Like I said, I got a flight early in the morning, so I'm not gonna hold y'all long. We're gonna get short, sweet, to the point. Hopefully, Coach Maryland of U-High joins us. They got the win in the second round, man. So shouts out to the U-High Cubs and Coach Maryland, who was a regular guest on the show, man. So like I said, all the scores at the bottom. I thank y'all for tuning in. Please leave a comment on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I notice a lot of y'all tune in on Facebook, also on YouTube. I can display your comments on the screen. So man, like I said, thank y'all for y'all continued support. We in episode 10, man. Like I said, it's been a quiet week, so I can keep it real short and sweet tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got an early flight, so I'm gonna get up out of here as soon as possible. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, all the scores are at the bottom. LSU took care of business. The Saints had a bye week, which kind of, it's kind of bittersweet. You know what I'm saying? How the Saints been playing, you just don't know what you're gonna expect from the Saints. So I'm not even mad that they had a bye week this week, to be honest with you. I'm kind of relieved, especially what happened last week against the Vikings or against a backup quarterback. We all know Josh Dobbs can ball, man, but still, they had a backup quarterback in the game. We were supposed to win that game, but I'm glad the Saints was off this week. So, like I said, it was kind of quiet, man. LSU took care of business against Georgia State. Jaden Daniels looks like he's running away with the Heisman, if you ask me, man. Y'all leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think about the Jaden Daniels and his potential for winning the Heisman, bro. I think he's the sole front runner. That's my opinion, because now it's to the point where he's just running away with it. And he's clearly the most talented player in the country, the best player in the country, in Jaden Daniels, man. So he's been balling the whole season. So give that man the Heisman. We're going to get into that a little later, man. But like I said, thank y'all for joining in for episode 10, man. I'm up to episode 10 right now. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling grateful. I'm feeling blessed that y'all tune in and watch your boy every week. This is episode 10. Thank y'all for joining in. Like I said, leave a comment in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about Jaden Daniels. Is he gonna win a Heisman or what? What's y'all opinion on that? I think he got a good chance. I think the only way Jaden Daniels may not win the Heisman if old boy Penix go out there and ball in the Pac-12 championship game. If he do that, I think they may give it to Penix just because of the record and But I think, in my opinion, I could be a little biased, but I think Jaden Daniels deserved the Heisman. I mean, look at the stats, look at the performances he's put on. Like, without Jaden Daniels, LSU is probably a 6-16 this year, probably worse. I say LSU probably don't even go to a bowl game this year if Jaden Daniels isn't our quarterback. So, I like his chances, bro. I like his chances. Like I said, once again, y'all, thank y'all for joining in North of the Lake Weekly Sports Talk Live. If you want to leave me a comment, leave me a comment. Let me know if I'm tripping or if I'm right on. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Jaden Daniels is one of the best in the country. But like I said, once again, the scores are coming around. North Shore playoff football round 2. St. Paul took care of business against Tiago, 38-14. Newman over St. Thomas Aquinas, 45-0. Kentwood got the win against Faraday, 46-8. Amite over Sumner, 21-0. Bugaloosa over Laroville, 28-7. Zachary over Salmon, 49-28. Mandeville over Santa Ma, 42-21. Walker over North Shore, 28-2. My cousin, Coach Maryland, and the U-High Cubs got the win against Patrick Taylor, 62-6. Hopefully he come in here in a little while. LSU over Georgia State, 56-14. Troy over ULL, 31-24. Jayville State over Louisiana Tech, 56-17. Nichols over Southeastern, 21-16. Lamar over McNeese, 52-27. Ole Miss over UL Monroe, 35-3. The Saints had that bye week. So like I said, it was kind of quiet week, man. And y'all bear with me. My nose is kind of stopped up a little bit. So bear with me. Like I said, I'm not gonna be long. I got a flight in the morning to catch. But like I said, you are North of the Lake, man. We're gonna get into them LSU Tigers. We're also gonna get into the Saints a little bit, because next week we got the Falcons. Y'all already know what week that is. I think, did we play the Falcons already? I'm not sure. I can't remember if we played the Falcons already, but I don't remember us playing them this year. So you already know it's always a good game when the Saints and the Falcons get together, man. But I was kind of relieved. What y'all think? I was kind of relieved that the Saints didn't play today. And I didn't know it until the last minute. I had some business to handle today anyway. So I was kind of glad we didn't play. But I woke up at 12 o'clock. I started getting ready for the game and everything. Come out, find out Saints didn't have a game today, man. But you know what I'm saying? So it was a slow week. It was a slow week, man. A couple things happened this week. Jimbo Fisher is out at Texas A&M. I think that's overdue. I think they was more shorter on the leash with Kevin Sumlin at Texas A&M. So it was not surprising that Jimbo Fisher is out at Texas A&M, man. He underachieved there for some years with some talent. So it doesn't surprise me that he is out, but that contract buyout was like, I want to say like $76 million. They had to give Jimbo $76 million to fire him. Could you imagine that? Like you go, like you quitting your job or you getting fired at your job, and they still got to pay you like whatever salary. Let's say you on salary and they got to pay you the rest of your salary. Like, could you imagine that? Like that's a win-win situation. You know what I'm saying? So I know Jimbo not hurting. I know he probably gonna get a at least an offensive coordinator job real soon, if not a head coaching job. But Jimbo Fisher is out at A&M, man. I thought that was interesting. And it's gonna be interesting that LSU versus A&M matchup next week, man. So y'all chime in the comments. Let me know what you think about the A&M LSU game. Also, let me hear what y'all say about Jaden Daniels for Heisman. I really want to know y'all opinions of that. I don't want to feel biased, so hopefully somebody can chime in, man, and let me know what y'all think about Jaden Daniels for Heisman, man. So it's been a good week, man. Hope everybody had a good week, man. We're gonna get into things because, like I said, I'm not gonna be long tonight. I'm not gonna be long, kind of under the weather, and I also got a flight early in the morning. So I say thank y'all for joining, man. This is episode 10, y'all. This is episode 10. That's big. That's big. And I'm still going. Y'all still support me, man. I'm gonna keep going as long as y'all keep supporting me. You know what I'm saying? We're on episode 10. This is North of the Lake Weekly Sports Talk Live, man. Get it off your chest. Get it off your chest, man. If y'all got anything you want to get off your chest, sports related, non-sports related, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I got a whole hour. I'm gonna do an hour today. I got that early flight. Shouts out to everybody in the live right now. Shout out to my boy Corey Webb. Shout out to my boy Dish. Man, shouts out to y'all boys, man. If y'all want to come on this screen and let me know what y'all think about Jaden Daniels for Heisman. Let me know what you think about the Saints. You know what I'm saying? Chime on in here, man. Like I said, I'm a little under the weather, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm kind of stopped up over here. I'm gonna give y'all a good hour, and I gotta catch this early flight in the morning. But like I said, it was a good weekend, man. Like I said, all the scores are at the bottom of North Shore playoff football round number 2, followed by the college scores. LSU took care of business, like I mentioned earlier, against Georgia State. Jaden Daniels had like 8 touchdowns. Seemed like Jaden Daniels scored a touchdown like every drive, man. That's pretty much what it's getting down to. And I think the national media is not giving Jaden Daniels the credibility and the favor like they giving some of these other players right now. And it's a shame because really the media controls the narrative of who wins the Heisman. It's always been like that. Whoever the media favors or give the most attention to can win the Heisman. And I feel like they're not doing that with Jaden Daniels. Maybe it's because of LSU's record. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure what's the reasoning behind that, but he had a fantastic game, man. Jaden Daniels had a fantastic game. So I'm gonna get right into. Let's get into this LSU game. LSU cruises over Georgia State, man. 56-14. It was not well. I will say Georgia State did make it interesting early. They really did. It's kind of like that Grambling game LSU had against Grambling. They kind of started slow with a lesser opponent, but LSU then started to settle down and things started to go LSU's way, man. But Georgia State did give a fight as long as they gave a fight. So yeah, shouts out to my boy Corey Webb, Jaden Daniels for Heisman. Webb, look, I'm with you, bro. Shout out to my cousin. Get well soon, cuz. Keep up the good work, man. Like I appreciate it, man. I'm trying to hang in there tonight. Like I said, I'm stopped up and I got an early flight. So them two things that you got to be prepared for. I got that early 6:30 flight in the morning, man. So I ain't gonna be on here too long tonight, y'all. But hopefully, cuz, man. Hopefully I do shape back. I shape back. I'll take me a little medicine, but I am a little stopped up. Like I said, and I do got to be up early in the morning. So I appreciate y'all joining on this live, man. Like I said, Jaden Daniels, going back to the LSU Georgia State game, it was almost like Jaden Daniels knew what he wanted. He just went out there and took it. Like that's pretty much what this Georgia State game came down to. It's like he pretty much picked his stacks. I haven't seen the player do that. That was kind of like on some LeBron James type of stuff. He picked his stats like in this game. Like he wanted to break Joe Burrow's record, I think, of 9 touchdowns in the game. And he was, and you can tell Jaden Daniels was pushing towards that. He was trying to reach that goal. He was trying his best to get those 9 touchdowns. He ended up having 8 touchdowns on the night, but it was an impressive performance by Jaden Daniels, man. It like whatever he wanted, he took it. It was that Heisman energy that that we used to seeing for Lamar Jacksons and the Kyler Murrays. They was dominant and they took whatever they wanted. Whenever they wanted to score, they had to score. And Jaden Daniels going back to the Florida game last week, it's like he just taking whatever he wants. If if he want 40 yards on the ground, he can get the 40 yards on the ground. If he want to hit Malik Neighbors or Brian Thomas over the top, he gonna do that. Like he pretty much taking whatever he want at this point. Jaden Daniels is taking whatever he want, and that's pretty much was the game plan. It's like they didn't have no respect for Georgia State. Even Jaden Daniels played late into the fourth quarter. Like they had the game, and Jaden Daniels was still trying to get that ninth touchdown for the night to break Joe Burrow's record of touchdowns in the game, man. So it was straight up disrespect. I'm being honest with you, but Jaden Daniels, the LSU Tigers, they had on their mind, man. They went into Tiger Stadium and they took what they wanted, man. So at this point, I'm starting to see a lot of support on social media for Jaden Daniels' Heisman chances, but I'm not seeing the national media step up and do their part. I feel like they are trying to favor your boy from Michigan quarterback. I think his name is McCarthy, and he hasn't, his stats isn't even comparable to Jaden Daniels, and I just feel like that's just going off of pure bias, man. I understand Jaden Daniels. One second, I'm trying to get Coach Maryland up in here. He just said, "Let me see if I can get it to you, Coach. Let me see if I can get it to you right quick." Tell you what, I'm gonna send it to your email, Coach. Trying to get Coach Dave in here. We're gonna be real quick tonight, y'all. Check on them U-High Cubs and see what they did in the playoffs. Let's see if I can send it to you. I know I got your email here. Y'all bear with me. We're trying to get Coach Maryland up in here. Let's see. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna send it to you on Facebook, Coach. I'm gonna send it to you on Facebook. Let's see. Y'all bear with me. I'm trying to get Coach Maryland in here to check on the U-High Cubs and what they did in the playoffs. He said it's not working on his end. I sent him the link. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Like I said, trying to get Coach Maryland in on here. We are having problems getting him in. Y'all bear with me for 1 second. Coach, I'm trying to email it to you. Let me see. I know I got your email somewhere in here. Y'all give me 1 second. We're trying to get Coach Maryland of the U-High Tigers in. Let's see. There we go. Check your email, Coach. Check your email. Thank y'all for joining North of Lake. We're trying to get Coach David Maryland in on here to check on the U-High Tigers and what they did in the second round of the playoffs. They had that first round bye. Shouts out to Coach Maryland and the U-High Tigers. Coach Maryland is a weekly guest on here for everybody that tuned in. So we're trying to get him in here. I'm trying to email it to him. Email him the link. I'm going to send it to you one more time just in case. Check your email, Coach. I'm sending it to you now. Like I said, y'all forgive me, man. I do have a cold, so I'm trying to get over that cold. Y'all bear with me. I'm trying to get over that cold, trying to get Coach Maryland up in here. But like I said, LSU did take care of business, man. And I think Jaden Daniels has proven himself to be the front runner of the Heisman Trophy. I'm starting to see a lot of support for him on social media amongst other athletes. Like I know your boy, Texans quarterback. I always forget CJ Stroud. His name always slipped my mind for some reason, but I seen him support Jaden Daniels openly, but I'm not seeing it from the national media. Like I said, LSU, I mean, it wasn't even close. Georgia State put up a fight early, but LSU was way too much, man. And that defense, man, our defense still played down the competition. It is Georgia State, but I mean, still, man, I understand they got capable players, but our defense has played down the competition all year, man. So LSU definitely has to make changes, and I would rather see a change made sooner than later by Brian Kelly, maybe at defensive coordinator. And I think our DB coach needs. I think we're gonna need a new DB coach because I seen some questionable. I seen questionable technique being played by LSU defensive backs all year. So I would like to see a change of defensive coordinator for LSU going into next year, going into the A&M game to send a message, to the staff, to send a message to the team because we can't accept the standard of defense that we have seen at LSU this year. They can't accept that. So I would like to see a change made sooner than later at defensive coordinator, man, and that DB coach, because I've seen some very questionable technique at DB this year. Our DBs are playing 7 yards off. Like it's ridiculous. It's not DBU, and I think we still need that moxie. I understand we may not have the personnel. I understand that. I understand that LSU does not have the personnel to still be DBU at this point, but we still got to have that moxie. That's like I want to see some bump and run coverage, and I'm still not seeing that. But but the show, the whole show is just Jaden Daniels at this point, man. Jaden Daniels is the whole show for LSU. Without Jaden Daniels this year, I'm not sure LSU is a bowl eligible team this year. So it. One second, I'm still trying to get Coach Maryland in here. Bear with me, y'all. Trying to get Coach Maryland in here to check on you high Tigers, man. Like I said, this is episode 10, y'all. This is episode 10, man. I really appreciate the support, man. Like I said, all the scores are at the bottom of the screen for all the North Shore, all our colleges here in Louisiana. I definitely appreciate the continued support, and I always shout those kids out at Fontainebleau High School, man. They reached out to me some weeks ago, maybe like on my 3rd episode, and they had a problem with some things that were said about one of our tangent athletes on my platform, and they wanted to correct that. And ever since then, man, I put all the North Shore schools at the bottom. I was only doing Tangipahoa Whole Parish, but I was definitely inspired by those kids at Fontainebleau. I always give them a shout out. I always give them a shout out on my platform for inspiring me to go a little bigger, to reach more people. So definitely shouts out to the North Shore. Shouts out to all our Tangy schools. Shout out to the Kentwood Kangaroos. Shout out to the Amy Warriors for getting the win for Tangy. Man, if y'all go to the Dome, I'm going to try to be there, man. So definitely shout out to our Tangy guys, Amy and Kentwood, 2 of the historical programs in our parish in the state of Louisiana, 2 of the winningest program in the state of Louisiana. So, man, shouts out to the Kentwood Kangaroos and the Amy Warriors, man, doing what they used to do. I can't remember a year in my life that Kentwood didn't go to the playoffs. I think Amy might have had one down year where they didn't go to the playoffs, man. But shout out to our Tangy guys. But we are talking LSU cruising over Georgia State, man. And I just want to get into it for Coach Maryland get in here. Coach Maryland is telling me he's on the phone with a recruiter. So shout out to him, man. I know he's working hard for those kids down there at U-High, man. Shout out to him. And if you're just coming in, I am a little under the weather, y'all, and I do have an early flight in the morning. I got that 6:30 flight. I don't know what I was thinking when I booked that flight, but I got a 6:30 flight in the morning, which means I'm gonna have to get there about 4 o'clock at the airport. You know how that go. You got to be there 2 hours ahead of time and all that. So I ain't gonna go live too long tonight, y'all. I'm gonna get on up out of here, but we're waiting on Coach Maryland to join us. The scores are at the bottom for the North Shore Playoff Football Round 2. They are coming around. I'm not gonna read them again because this cold is getting the best of me. But like I said, thank y'all for y'all continued support, man. This is episode 10, man, and I'm loving it. Yeah, y'all, I'm definitely loving the support, man. Y'all keep me going, bro. LSU did cruise over Georgia State, man. And like I said, the question I want to ask is, one second, we're gonna hold that thought. We're gonna bring Coach Maryland into here to go ahead and get things popping. What's going on, Coach?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I can't complain at all, Coach. Man, go on, give it to us, man. Go on, give it to us, bro. Second round of the playoffs, man. How y'all do?
I mean, we came out there what we expected, man. It was 62-6. Man, it was running quarter in the second quarter. We was up 42-0 in the second quarter.
Oh wow, yeah.
Man, people saying U-High, they beating teams, stuff like this. This is my thing about all that, man. Yeah, I know we got some good kids, man, but for instance, like a team like Patrick Taylor, man, they not even really. They are an academic school, and this is like their maybe their second or third season compete for honors, like district honors and stuff like that, man. So, yeah, I know they said we supposed to be playing up higher in classification, but we just go by the rules, the enrollment. You only have maybe they on the lower end of 3A. You don't have nothing but maybe like 500 some kids go to school though.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we on
I
the
didn't
lower
realize
end
that.
of 3A, man.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I thought y'all was a much bigger school than that for some
No,
reason, man.
man. No, that's state people think that, but it's not. We're it's about like between 5 and 550. That's how many kids we have.
Okay.
But yeah, man. But it was good for us, man. We did what we had to do. Got our key guys out. We actually got all the starters out. Just play some of the backups, man. Just stay rested up and get ready for Lake Charles College Prep on Friday, which I broke some film down last night and this morning. They're not a bad team. The record might say otherwise. They have some athletes. They kind of remind me of Madison Prep a little bit.
Okay.
They got some athletes around. So man, hopefully, we go out there have a really good week of practice. Like they say, man, if you practicing on Thanksgiving, you must be doing something right the whole year.
Yeah, I
It's
mean
a
that's and
privilege.
that's a
It's a privilege to really be coach on Thanksgiving, man. I think this is my seventh time out of 12 years coaching on Thanksgiving.
man,
So
that's a pretty good resume.
yeah,
That's a pretty
man.
good resume, man.
So
That is
hopefully we have a good week. I had to have a come to Jesus meeting with my receivers today. Um, I think we'll be fine though. Like I said, I don't want thinking about who we have next. Let's just focus on the opponent, that's in front of us right now. Then we can start worrying about the next team.
right, man. And it's definitely looking good for y'all, man. I've been peeping y'all this season, man. Shout out to the U-High Tigers. That's 62-6. Is that the correct score? 60, I got 62-6 for
62
two
to
quarters.
6, yeah.
62-6 at Patrick Taylor, man. Definitely shouts out to the U-High Tigers. Definitely got some athletes over there, man. Shout out to Coach Maryland, man. He's been joining us. Probably, I know this is episode 10. I know at least about 6 of the episodes he has
Yeah.
joined, man. So shout out to him, man. And the U-High Cubs. So man, going forward, into next week, what do y'all have to do to win? What does the U-High Cubs have to do to win against? Would you say Lake Charles Collegiate?
Yeah, Lake Charles College Prep.
College Prep, okay. Lake Charles College Prep.
Man, I honestly, man, I think if we just go out there and just play our ball, don't do nothing silly, and don't just try to go out there and just try to, overthink everything.
Right.
Just play assignment football. Just do what we coach you to do, and I think we'll be all right. I think one of the main things, I don't know, man. This day and age, especially in the playoffs, man, kids be worried about who we got next. Like you can't think like that, man, because if you do that, man, then some kind of way you go end up losing.
That's it.
So at the end of the day, man, I try to tell them humble. You gotta stay humble at the end of the day. But I think we'll be all right though, man. Let's just play our brand of football. We got a new install. We put some stuff in today. So it's good we don't have no school, so we don't really have to kind of rush everything. Um, and I hope we should be practicing the indoor facility. Go across the street, go to LSU indoor on Tuesday, I think.
Okay, so they actually open their facilities up to y'all.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like
Oh,
it's
that's
like
cool, man.
it's literally it's like walking distance. Like LSU, like it's right there. Then how they could walk over to LSU campus.
Man, that's crazy. I mean, I couldn't imagine, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
That's cool that them kids is right there on LSU
right,
campus.
right.
It should be nothing for LSU just to get y'all top recruits every year, man. I mean,
Yeah,
they can throw a rock over there and pretty much come see an athlete, man. Y'all definitely got some good athletes down there, man.
yeah,
So
man.
shout out to the U-High Cubs, man, going into this is gonna be the third round, correct? Because y'all had a first round bye, right?
Yeah, we had a bye. So yeah, this be the third round, quarterfinals. Then next week it'll be semifinals.
Oh man, so y'all road is not that not that complicated. In other words, every week's gonna be a challenge, but y'all
Right,
definitely have a path to the dome, man.
right,
And I hope
right.
y'all get there. I really hope y'all get there, man. But yeah, man, shouts out to the U-High Cubs, man, going into the third round of playoffs. And I gotta go and say it because I'm a little under the weather, man. I got a 6:30 flight in the morning, bro. So we're gonna try to get on up out of here, man.
Okay, all
We're
right,
gonna
man.
try to get on up out
All
of here. But
right.
you already know how them early flights go, man.
Yeah, man.
Did you get a chance to check out LSU Georgia State?
Man, I did, man. I had a bad migraine yesterday, but I did watch, bits and pieces of it while I was sitting up here breaking film down. And I saw some people talk about why did LSU keep Brian. I mean, I'm sorry. Well, why did LSU keep Jay Daniels in the fourth quarter. It was obviously they were trying to get him to break the record, break the
Oh, of
touchdown record in
course.
one game.
Oh, it was
And I
obvious.
don't blame him because you got to do stuff like that to solidify your Heisman.
That's right.
So I respect for what Brian Kelly, tried to do, for getting him to do that. But I think Jay Daniels gonna win the Heisman now. I think he gonna run away with it now because of the stats he putting up, regardless of the opponent. I know that people saying it's Georgia State, but let's just go back what he was doing the past 6-7 games, just like that.
Right.
Saw somebody brought up Bo Nix, but Bo Nix, I don't think you couldn't. If you put their stats side by side, I think Jay Daniels still, have better stats in every category than Bo Nix. Michael
Absolutely.
Penix, he been quiet. If you go back when they I forgot what game it was. He was struggling against somebody.
I think it was it Oregon?
Was it Oregon? It might have been Oregon. After that game when he was struggling, you heard nothing else about him.
But see, here's my thing with this, and I don't know if you heard before you got on, but it seems like Jaden Daniels is getting a lot of support from actual players, like from the CJ Stroud's to the guys that's even to the guys that's in college football and the SEC, former players are supporting Jaden Daniels. But I'm not seeing that same type of support from the national media, and that's why I was saying it seems like the media is trying to make a case for Michigan's quarterback JJ McCarthy, and I don't and look. His stats is his passing stats isn't even comparable to Jaden Daniels. We're not even taking into account that Jaden Daniels is about to go over 1,000 yards rushing for the season,
right?
As a quarterback. I mean,
right.
Let's not even take that in consideration. When you look at their stats, it's like, what are you talking about? But I feel like the media isn't giving him the attention. But after that performance, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. At first, I was like, okay. When he said 8 touchdowns, I'm like, first of all, I knew it was possible because he probably could have put these type of stats up every game if they really would have just let him loose. I think LSU didn't let him loose early enough in the season.
Right.
They should have let him do this. I mean, don't get me wrong. He still had a Heisman campaign up until this point. But you can tell they were special the Florida State game. They held him back, I feel like, but late in the season, he started getting more and more comfortable, man.
Right.
And now when you look at if you just look at the numbers, truly just look at the numbers, his numbers stand out and his athletic ability stands out at this point. Nobody is as dynamic as Jaden Daniels in the country this year. Yeah, Penix is having a good season. Let's not take anything from Penix. He's having a great season, but when you take in the dual threat capabilities of Jaden Daniels, you can't even put him into the same category. You was at that Florida game just like I was at that Florida game.
Right.
So you seen that performance last week in person, and it was, bro. I left that stadium that night knowing that I had witnessed history. You know what I'm saying? Like just live, it looks worse live, and I mean that in a good way. Jaden Daniels live is different than Jaden Daniels on your TV screen.
Right.
You can see the way he's pulling away from SEC competition. You can see the way he's throwing these guys open and putting the ball out in front of the receivers. You see the total package with Jaden Daniels, man. And I don't think it's I don't even think it's close to who's the best player in the country this year. I mean, Penix is about the only one that you can put up there like that. Bo Nix is doing good, but he hasn't been as consistent as Jaden Daniels this year. So it's not even close, man. He dominated the game. I mean, he pretty much called his own number last night. He said he wanted what, 9 touchdowns. And if LSU lets him play that final drive or the drive before the last drive, I think he might have had about 8 minutes left on the clock when he scored the 8 touchdowns. There's no doubt in my mind he could have got there, but I'm kind of glad Kelly, bro. I respect Kelly from letting him even try, to be honest with you.
Right. I agree.
Because I didn't think, like, how that game was building up. Like, I think the score might have already been like 28 to I don't know, to like maybe 28 to 14 at halftime or something like that. Maybe even worse. So I'm like, okay, they might let him get to the third quarter. Fourth quarter, they're not going to let him play. Like, in my mind, that's what I'm thinking. There's no way they're going to let him play in the fourth quarter.
Right.
Then I see him come out and say, okay, he really trying to do it. And he called his own number, bro. I mean, how great is that, man? You said I want 9, and he could have easily got the 9. You go out there and get 8. And let's just check on his stats from the Georgia State LSU game. Y'all please forgive me, bro. I'm a little under the weather tonight. But Jaden Daniels was 25 or 30, 413 yards, 6 passing touchdowns. He added another 10 carries for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns. And really, nobody else really rushed the ball but Jaden Daniels last night.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the receivers, Malik Neighbors still did their thing. Malik Neighbors was 140, 2 touchdowns. Brian Thomas was had 4 catches, 103 yards, and a touchdown, man. And
Did they have 3 receivers over 100 yards?
And that's what I'm about to say. Kyron
Mm-hmm.
Lacy also added five receptions, 101 yards, and 2 touchdowns, man. So he really spread the ball out. I mean, coming into the season, I made a video about Jaden Daniels. I've actually brought it up a couple times on a couple episodes now. And I was just watching the film, man, and this was only the highlights. I wasn't breaking it down, analytically or going through every play, but just seeing the things that he do well. I was like, okay, man, if he takes a step next year, I actually tweeted, I said, if he takes a step, he can win the Heisman. Like, if he learns how to win the run and when to throw the ball, and he's been doing that beautifully this year, bro. Beautifully this year. And it's just amazing to see. And so what do you think his chances are? Like, what is his actual chances of winning the Heisman, you think, at this point in Jaden Daniels?
It should be like it's hot. I can tell you that. And I think it was good to hear because I like after the games, I like hearing like press conference from the head coach, see what they say about their players. It was good to hear Brian Kelly advocate for him. And then I did hear some guys on ESPN, like College Game Day Final. Dan Mullen, he talked about it a little bit. He got up there and said Jay Daniels should be a front runner for the Heisman. You getting some national media, but you're not. I don't think you're really getting like the key national media people.
Yeah,
that's really talking about it.
Yeah,
because JJ McCarthy, man, I don't think he should even get an invite if you ask me.
Exactly, because his stats are very pedestrian, and I pulled them up. Let me see if I could pull them up real quick.
Because Michigan run first team. I don't know why they think McCarthy will be, in the run.
And see, that's what surprised me about it. So let me read you his stats, and I'm gonna compare Jaden Daniels' season stats to his. That's what was kind of troubling to me because I'm like, wait, Jaden Daniels is blowing him out the water. When it comes to stats. Yeah, are they undefeated? Yes, but then they got all this stuff swirling around. And he had a very pedestrian performance this week against the Maryland. Maryland actually almost beat them. Probably should have beat them. Let's see. Okay, now my computer wants to act for
They play with so much emotion, man.
Right.
That's the thing. They playing, with the situation with Harbaugh and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, and so, but he had I had the numbers pulled up there then. It started going crazy, but he's having a very pedestrian season compared to Jaden Daniels, man. Let's look at Jaden Daniels on the season. It's on the season right now. Jaden Daniels, he got 3,500 yards passing, man. 3,500 yards passing, 36 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and he's first in college football in QBR at 94.9. So, it's almost perfection from him. It's almost perfection. On the season, he's completing 72% of his passes, man.
Yeah,
I'll take that. That's winning football. That's Drew Brees type of number,
right?
To be honest with 36 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. And what really impresses me about Daniels is he's not going to make the big mistake. Like his entire career at LSU, you probably can almost recall every interception he's thrown because he hasn't thrown that many. He hasn't turned the ball over too many times. Like this is championship football this man is playing. And like I said, we've brought this up on previous lives. It's like the defense isn't doing anything to help them, man. If we have a top 50 defense this year, LSU wins a championship this year. And it's not even close. If we can stop people, if we can make 3 stops a game on defense, there's no way we're gonna lose that game. If we can stay turnover free, get 3 stops, there's no way nobody would beat LSU this year.
Right.
It's no way. But as far as the odds go, man, I just think he has to be in the front runner seat. But like I said, it's the main media guys whose opinion influences pretty much everybody, especially the average fan or the average media person who doesn't really watch college football. Guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna watch ESPN and they're gonna take the takes of the people on ESPN and they're gonna run with it. But if you're not really watching LSU, who's what are we 7-3 now? I think so. It's 7-3 LSU team. Nobody there. We've not well, we've pretty much been eliminated for any championship talk. In the
Right.
SEC championship talk, it's all out the window at this point. So man, I think it's because of the position that LSU's in, but you got to look at Caleb Williams' year last year. Look at Lamar Jackson's Heisman Trophy winning year. Tim Tebow had 4 losses. I mean, Tim Tebow's year, it was kind of some debate. I can't remember who was in the race at that year too, but it was some debate about Tim Tebow that year. I'm not sure who that was that came up that year, but I think this is Daniel. I think this is Daniel's. It's I tell you what, his test is gonna be next week though,
Yeah.
for sure. Like if he goes in there and put those types of number up against a talented A&M defense, I think A&M may be like top 5 in the SEC in defense this year. If he can go into this A&M game and put the type of numbers up he's put up against Florida, this week against Georgia State, I think he seals it at that point. What you think about that?
I think so. I think so. Because Texas A&M, they do have really, good solid defense. And with that being the last game of the season too, man, I just hope, just let them play. Just let Jay Daniels play and just don't try to overthink play calling with him. Don't try to get him extra yards and all that, man. Just keep calling your offense. He go make plays with his legs and arms. And one thing I'm really, really impressed with about Jay Daniels, and I think he really took accountability, was that he worked on his arm strength, his accuracy this year.
Absolutely.
That's one thing, because I saw him at the Manning Passing Academy, and what is cool about that, man? So, it was my second year working it. So what Peyton Manning them to do, man? They get all the college quarterbacks, and they'll put them through like NFL drills and stuff like that. He broke them up in different sections and all that, man. So I'll follow some of the top quarterbacks around. And man, Jay Daniels, he was just like, dude, he has an arm, bro. He was throwing the Joker, man. And like I said, that's one thing he really did improve on. It shows. I mean, you saw what he did this year, man. Because last year, I don't think it was there, because I don't know if it was a new system or if he was just new to the conference or what it was.
Yeah.
I think this year, man, he worked on his craft, put it that way.
He did. Matter of fact, I don't know if I've ever seen a player jump from year to year like that. Like, even with Burrow, I seen the potential in Burrow. I knew it was kind of a factor of the system at that time that he was quarterbacking in. With Daniels, I'm not sure I seen this type of jump. Mm-hmm. Now, I knew he had the intangibles, but just in his deep ball. If you look at his deep ball from last year to his deep ball to this year, if you look at the decision making he's making this year versus last year, he gets the ball out a lot quicker and a lot more accurate, man.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to put that work in,
right,
to make that type of jump. I'm not sure I've seen that.
Right.
I'm not so sure we've seen a Heisman candidate take the type of jump that he has taken from his junior year to his senior year, man. It's almost undoubtable at this point, man.
Right.
And some of the throws he's making, he's putting it on point. I mean, it's not like you're seeing a lot of 50-50 balls being caught.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much, it's darts. He's throwing darts all over the field, and then he runs when he has to run.
Right.
That's where the 3 interceptions come in at. Right? I mean the 4 interceptions. He is 30 touchdowns on the year, the 4 interceptions. That's where that comes in. That, man, that's like a plus 28.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a plus 28 turnover. I mean, if you would have told me going into the year that Jaden Daniels, let me read his stats again. If you would have told me at the beginning of the year that Jaden Daniels was going to throw for 3,500 yards, 36 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions and completing 72% of his passes with the number 1 QBR in the country at 94.1, I'm like, I probably would have betted my house. I probably would have betted my house on LSU winning a national championship. If you would have told me these stats before the season started, I would have betted my house, man. That's that's a special season. I mean, if you look at Burrow's season, and that makes it even crazier that Joe Burrow threw 50 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Like it makes it almost seem impossible now that you see the type of season that Daniels is having, bro.
Right.
It makes that season seem even more impossible.
Right.
Because it seems like Jay and Daniels is scoring at a lot higher clip than what Burrow was for some reason. It just seems that way. It seems like that offense was more meticulous, boom, boom, boom. It was very pro styled, and Joe
Mm-hmm.
Burrow just made it look that way. But this is like kind of just exciting. I would say this offense is more exciting than what Joe Burrow's offense was, because you got Daniels, you got Daniels can run 80 yards on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Burrow probably can give you 15 in the first down, maybe. That was his max capability. But Jaden
Mm-hmm.
Daniels is electric, bro. He kind of remind me of like I said, he's a better thrower of the football than Lamar Jackson. I would say Lamar is probably more agile. I probably
Mm-hmm.
would say Lamar's more agile, but Daniels is a lot better thrower of the football than Lamar Jackson.
Oh, absolutely, hands down. That's not even a
Hands
comparison.
hands down. And that's what I'm thinking now. So what do you think? How high do you think in the draft Daniels can actually go?
It really depends on the team, the scheme. I'm really really big on scheme. How you gonna try to fit this type of quarterback? Um, if I had to give him a grade right now, I'd probably be second round pick.
Second round?
Yeah, if I had to give him a grade right now, it'd probably be second round because you got to kind of look at all right. If you go through all 32 NFL teams, all
Right.
right, who you think obviously if you can name a few of them, I would say Cleveland need a quarterback.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, because Deshaun Watson, he's like Andrew's killing him, man.
Man, that's a big contract though. That's that coach. That's a big contract,
So
coach.
I know, but you
That's a
rather him
big,
keep getting hurt and getting paid, or you rather bring somebody in that's gonna try to help you out. That's what I look at.
yeah. I mean, I feel you on that. I just don't think Cleveland will pull the trigger. Because that would make the GM. I'm not sure if they switch GMs or not, because I think it may be coming if they haven't. But
Mm-hmm.
that's going to put the GM in a very tough position to take and draft a quarterback when you just paid a guy the most guaranteed money in NFL history. To be your quarterback, and I just don't think they'll do it just because of how it's going to look. Just like the Saints with Derek Carr, the Saints. Everybody in New Orleans is probably can probably see that Jameis probably gives us the better chance to win at this point, especially when you compare, both sides of it. And we're gonna get into that later. That's gonna be the last thing that we get into, but it's kind of that same situation, right? It's kind of that same situation, man. So I don't know, man.
It really depends on scheme. But if I had to give him a grade right now, I'd say he looking at like a high second round pick. Somebody will take a chance on him. But whoever take that chance on him, you better put a scheme around him where he can run and throw. He ain't no straight drop back passer.
Who I'm thinking of right now? I'm thinking of the 49ers because I'm not so sure Purdy and scheme wise, it may not be the best fit, but I think if anybody can find a system for Jaden Daniels, it'll be Kyle Shanahan. And I'm saying that because is Purdy really the answer? Do you really believe in Purdy?
He threw for 333 today. Like
did,
he's
okay.
solid. Like
He's solid, but I don't know. I
solid,
just gotta see it. I just gotta see what's gonna happen in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think what happens in the playoffs is going to depend. It's going to determine how we look at Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
I think a team like the Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins is getting ready to go. I'm watching Dobbs now. We're gonna see what Dobbs is gonna do tonight. But I'm looking at the Minnesota Vikings. I'm looking at a team like hell. I even said Carolina Panthers, the Atlanta Falcons. I don't think Jaden Daniels is gonna make it out of the first round. I don't think so. It's almost like that Johnny Manziel thing, right? The Tim Tebow thing. They were such great college players to where NFL team said, I gotta see it if it's gonna work.
But you gotta look at the needs though. Like how many 32 teams out of the 32 teams need a quarterback that's trying to really start over, need a franchise quarterback?
It's a couple. You'll be surprised. I think you'll be surprised what teams like maybe Chicago. I'm not sure why Justin Fields isn't getting his just due. I mean, he just hasn't been in a good situation. You can see that the talent is there. You can see same with him. If he gets into a system that fits his skill set, like Lamar Jackson did,
right?
Like Tua kind of did. Like Tua's in a system that fits him. That system doesn't ask him to do a lot. Then he's surrounded by talent.
Right.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's biased, man. I just like Jaden Daniels. I truly do. Let me check the comments. Let's see.
I can look at the Browns. I don't see the Panthers drafting them. The Falcons, maybe. The
The Falcons for
Buccaneers,
sure.
maybe.
I think the Falcons is that team that probably might give them a chance. Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do they have to lose at this point?
Right.
I mean, because they have a solid defense. They got some solid players on the offense. They just need that guy quarterback. And I just think Jaden Daniels got the it factor, man. Shout out to my boy Robert Daniels, man. Coach Robert Daniels. He said he's done it against more competition than the others combined. Question is, can you name a college quarterback that's better than him right now? And I don't think so. And also, Coach said the Falcons in Washington might have a say in on Jaden Daniels. And that Washington, who they got? Heineke? Is that who they got in Washington right now? Heineke, I think.
Yeah, I can see the Redskins, the Commanders. I can see them.
Still ain't got over that name yet.
Yeah.
The Commanders, I just still don't like that, man. I don't know. And usually things grow on me. That still hasn't grown on me. And I think this is like the third year, I think, that they had that name. So that name still hasn't grown on me either, man. But I agree with Coach Daniels, man. He said, can you name a quarterback better? Only quarterback that's really in that conversation is your boy Penix at Washington right now, if you ask me. That's the only player that really can even be in the conversation if you ask me right now. And you can't really name somebody. And I would even put Malik Neighbors or somebody in there if you really want to be honest. Look at what Neighbors is doing at receiver. Look at your boy Ohio State now. Your boy Ohio State is doing good too, but his numbers is about what with Neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I give him the edge because they're having more team success.
But Marvin Harris is the name. That's what's really
That's the name.
Giving him all the accolades. You know, I ain't like he nice though.
Oh yeah.
He's solid, bro.
He probably going top 10 in the NFL draft. Man, he deserves so because you know, like a guy like that. I understand why it's a name though, because you can tell that the way he does things, he's been coached by a Hall of Famer his whole life.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's just obvious, and it's amazing to see that too. Because you know, sometimes like Michael Jordan kids wasn't as great as I don't think they even played basketball on that level like that. Maybe they did in high school or something like that. I'm not sure if they went to like even college to play basketball, but it's amazing to see that my genes is just that strong, man. Look, I'm gonna create another me, and he's gonna be taller, and he's gonna be the same. Like it's pretty much like he made his son in the lab. Because I don't think Marvin Harrison was. He probably was only 6 foot tall, and I know this dude is at least 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", and he's a prototype, man. But I think Daniels is definitely in the driver's seat, man. So let me ask you this: where does Daniels rank among LSU greats? You know, we got Joe Burrow, we got Tyrann Mathieu, we got we got all these guys. We got Patrick Peterson, Leonard Fournette. You got all these guys, man. You got all these guys, bro, and you know, we can go on for days on that list, but where does he rank amongst the Fournettes and the Burrows, the Matt Flynn's and the Jacob Hesters and those guys, man?
I mean, I say he should be top 10 for sure. You know, I think off the top of your head, with no order, man, you could say Tyrann Mathieu, Patrick Peterson, Burrow, Glenn Dorsey.
East Ascension.
You could put Jacob Hester. You got to put Josh Reed.
Absolutely. A lot of kids today don't know who Josh Reed is.
You got to put Josh Reed.
I guarantee you, ask any of your receivers who Josh Reed, have no clue who that is.
Bro, you ought to hear some of the questions I ask them. I ain't gonna say it on here, man, but I be asking something. Matter of fact, I am about to say it on here, bro. Let me tell you something. Bayou Classic coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
And before the Lord, I pray to every night. I walk up to some of these kids, I'd be like, "Hey, who played in the Bayou Classic?" These kids look at me, they were like, "Bayou Classic, Coach, I never heard of that before."
What? Hey, now that's surprising, especially because they're in Baton Rouge. Like, that's surprising to me. Now. That's surprising.
I'm like, you ever heard of Southern? Southern.
No. Come on, man. Nah.
Okay.
Nah. Okay. That's no way. Because they in Baton Rouge. Now I can almost understand if a kid in Hammond was saying that. I can almost understand that, but
I'm telling you.
I guess it's a difference because in our family we got nothing but Southern grads, and I mean we surrounded by Southernites pretty much. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's just hard to believe. Though.
I'm serious.
And honestly, I had every intentions on going to the Bayou Classic, man. But I'm gonna be out here working, man. But
okay.
I had every intention on going. That's like a thing that I look forward to every year. I don't
Yeah.
understand. That's hard to believe that they don't know Southern and
I'm
Grambling, man.
serious.
That's tough, especially being in Baton Rouge. That's beyond me,
Now
man.
the quarterback, Emil, a quarterback, he came from Mississippi. And it caught us off guard, man, one Friday before the game. I might be at the practice. He had a Jackson State hoodie on. Well, me and Kendall, we looked. We were like, man, what you know about Jackson State? And the first thing he said, "Cause I know about the Sonic Boom." Well, I looked. I said, "Come on, man." Yeah, man. Yeah,
That's
man.
surprising to me, man. That's surprising that they don't know who Southern Grand. It was because like I said, like Musa said, it's the Black Super Bowl for pretty much for us. I mean,
Right.
so I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't care where I'm in the country when they go. I will find a way to watch the Bayou Classic.
Right.
I will find a way, and I hope LSU not playing it. If LSU and Southern playing, I got both of them going at the same time, some type of way.
I think
that's crazy.
I think the coach tell him. I don't know if I'm even go. Okay, LSU play 11 o'clock Saturday morning. Yeah, they got a morning game.
That's crazy.
And the Classic come on at what is it?
2:30? Noon.
Noon? Oh, okay.
It might be back to noon now.
Okay.
It might. Don't quote me on that. It might be back to noon now. But shout out to Coach Dane. Said, question is, can you name a college quarterback? Well, no, I read that. Not read it, Coach. What did he say? He said, can Penix have LSU where Daniels has them right now? Come on now. I don't think so.
No, because Penix.
I don't think because see, Penix actually has a slightly better defense, not by a lot, but he has a slightly better defense. Well, I would say a lot better defense than LSU. At least they honest at times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, LSU, I mean, we don't stop nobody. And I do mean that literally. We don't stop anybody.
Right.
You know, you gotta be pretty bad for not to score against our defense. And even some of the smaller teams has made it interesting. Like Georgia State made it interesting in the first quarter. Like for sure. I was asking myself, like, what's gonna happen here? And if we didn't have Jaden Daniels, if we'd have had one of those average quarterbacks outside of Burrow and Daniels that we had in the past, we lose that game easily.
Right.
Easily. We lose against Florida. What was the guy we had, man? What was the guy we had, man? Shout out to Coach Sibley. Let's bring Coach Sibley here, man. How you doing, Coach?
Good, man. How y'all making out tonight, man?
Man, making it, man. We sitting here talking about, you know, we already covered y'all U-High Cubs, but how was that win for y'all, bro?
Oh man, it was big, man. You know, to open up the playoffs after a bye week, to say that we didn't come out rusty was huge, man. Because you know sometimes you kind of as coaches you worry about, you know, how you're gonna respond to being off for a couple of weeks and then you know coming back playing. So I thought we played well, man. We were pretty, you know, crisp on both sides of the ball. So you know it only gets harder as you go on. So hopefully this week's opponent is a little tougher than last week's opponent. And we'll see how it goes Friday.
That's what Coach was telling me, man, that the school that y'all played on Friday was actually like a school that just kind of been like 2 years running or something like that. So
yeah, it wasn't.
So y'all got some athletes out there, man. I hope y'all do get a better shot at it, man, from somebody.
Yeah, we got some cats that can play, man. So like you said, hopefully going on it gets a little tougher for us, but I mean it's always good to get out there and get a quick W like that. So I'm not complaining at all.
Definitely get that practice for
the
next.
Check us out, man.
Man, you know, bro. So the way my weekend went, I wasn't supposed to be in town. I was supposed to be on the road doing the show today. And I didn't know ahead of time that I would be back in. I expected to be out of town. In other words, I got a flight in the morning. So like I said, I told Coach, man, I ain't gonna be long tonight, man. I got a flight in the morning to head to Nashville and take care of some business, man. So I've been all over the place, bro. I told Coach, I was hoping y'all didn't have a first round bye because I could have came for last week for sure.
Right.
And when Coach told me I got a bye, I said, "Oh man, I was definitely planning on getting that, but I'm gonna try to catch y'all. I can catch y'all in that dome. I can catch y'all in that dome now.
We don't speak too early.
We ain't gonna speak too early. Look, we ain't gonna speak too early, but I'm telling you when I can catch you, man. I can catch you in that dome.
That's the plan, bro. Hopefully we can get there, man.
Oh, I do believe it. But look, man, we're gonna get out here kind of quick tonight. What you think about Daniels, man? You're gonna give us your opinion. He dominates against Georgia State, 8 touchdowns. What you thinking about his Heisman chances and just gonna give it to us,
man? just listen at commentators and broadcasters talk about him, and just experts, I guess you could say, talk about him. And after watching him in person, we went and watched him play. I think that was Auburn. We went and watched him play. And the dude, like you say, you can honestly say he's probably the best college football player right now.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, and to say the stats that he's putting up as a quarterback, man, it's unreal, man. And I mean, I know everybody's on Bo Nix, and don't get me wrong, he's a solid quarterback as well. But man, when you're talking about rushing yards, you're talking about passing yards, you're talking about the total package. That's a guy, man. I think Jay Daniels is the guy, man.
He the total package, bro. And it's I think it's more obvious this year than it's ever been. You know, I don't think it's even a guy that you can literally compare to him this year that say, okay, he got the dual threat abilities. He could throw it, and he's been throwing the ball. It's not like he just throwing 50-50 balls. I mean, he putting balls where they're supposed to be at. You know what I'm saying? So it just shouts out to him. And before you came, and we were talking about, man, where does he rank amongst LSU greats, from the Joe Burrows, from the Leonard Fournettes, the Tyrann Matthews, the Patrick Petersons? Like, I think he's somewhere up, and I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna give you what I think he is.
Yeah, I mean, after looking at, they put up numbers last night. I was watching the game last night, and they put up stats and just compared his numbers to Joe Burrow's numbers. And to be honest with you, a lot of people don't know until they put those numbers up. His numbers are actually a tad bit better than Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And if you ranking him amongst the greats, man, like, I mean, it's hard to not say he's probably the best quarterback to come. I mean, I ain't gonna go that far and say the best quarterback to come through there. But when you're looking at numbers, man, it's hard to kind of argue against that, man.
I would say, without even thinking about it, he the second greatest. I'm not gonna put him over Burrow because what Burrow did. Burrow brought a championship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it didn't even look close that whole season, really. I mean, toward the end, Alabama got a little close, Auburn got a little close that season, but everybody else, it wasn't even a competition. It wasn't even a competition. But I'm gonna say, without even thinking about it, without even putting too much thought, he the second greatest quarterback. Now you talking about all time?
Yeah.
All time, I think he in top 5 at this point, especially if he go win the Heisman.
Yeah.
If he win the Heisman, he got to be in top 5.
Yeah.
Because you got to put him in the top 5 because we seen Fournette. I think Fournette could have won a Heisman easily.
Yeah.
I think Odell Beckham could have won a Heisman. I think Tyrann Matthew could have won a Heisman, but
Tyrann should have won one year. I forgot who was up with Tyrann that year. He was up too.
Who was it?
Because he did.
2011.
He got invited to the Heisman. He was one of the candidates, wasn't
he? He was one of the candidates. I think he was there. I think.
Yeah, he
was
it
there. Geno? No, Geno didn't win the Heisman. But it was that thing. RG3. That's who it was.
Oh, Robert Griffin. Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean,
I wanted to say that, but I thought that was a little too late for some reason. I don't know why. I wanted to say RG3.
I could see that. I mean, but like you say, you just called them out, man. You talking about some of the greatest guys to put on the LSU uniform, and when Jaden Daniels walks away from LSU, man, he's gonna be able to be that guy to say, hey, man, I'm one of the best. Even if he doesn't win the Heisman, bro, his number alone, and I know he would get way more credit, say, if we were competing for, SEC or competing for a national championship, or just us as a whole, as a team, record-wise, was better. Then he would get way more attention. But I mean, you gotta step away from records. And I mean, like you said, they put a comparison up the other day about I think when Lamar Jackson when he won his Heisman, he was on a 73 team, 83 team, whatever it was, and he won it. I think they put somebody else up there too. It might have been RG3 that year. He won it.
It was RG3 and Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow had 4 losses that season.
Right. So I mean, if you take wins and losses out of it, you're talking about the best college football player, and it's got to be Jaden Daniels, man. I mean,
it got to be. It got to be, man.
And
I think Coach Daniels made a good point. He said, if you take Penix and put him on LSU's team this year, LSU isn't as good, or they wouldn't be as good. How can I say it? If you take Penix and put him on this LSU team, I don't think he brings LSU as far as Jaden Daniels did, in other words. You know what I'm saying? Because, he doesn't have that dual threat. I think Penix can move a little bit, but he's not about to just go out there and give you an 80-yard touchdown at any given time. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. But Daniels for me, he's top 5. I would probably go Joe Burrow. I'd probably go Fournette. I know that might surprise some people, but I mean, when he looked like the best player in the country that year as well. You know, I think maybe an injury or something. I can't remember what happened the year that he was campaigning for. I'd probably go him, and then I think I gotta go Daniels.
Okay.
I think I gotta go Daniels.
I'm with you.
I think he's 3. I'm gonna put Fournette number 2 because when you seen what he was doing, it was like you never seen that before. You know, you never seen that type of domination from a running back. You know, maybe Gurley maybe got close, but it was something special, man. To see it LSU. And I'll probably go. I'll probably go Tyrann Mathieu right after that, and probably Patrick Peterson.
Right.
And then, like you said,
we looking at recent, and that's recent times too. Because I mean, if we dig deeper, I mean,
we can go deeper, but I'm not qualified to go. See, I only will speak on the players that I've seen with my own eyes play.
I know, I definitely understand.
Probably could go Kevin Faulk. You know what I'm saying? Some of the guys that seen LSU play in the 90s probably could go Kevin Faulk or some of these other guys. But Josh Reed. Josh Reed is another one. You know that probably was good. I take that back. I mean, you probably would put Josh Reed up in that top 5 somewhere. I have to move somebody out because I mean, up until that point, he was one of the greatest I've seen myself play. So, but then I give my flowers to Tyrann too, man. What Tyrann did from a defensive side of the ball, it was unbelievable. It's like, you know, at some point you thought it'd come to an end, but every game he was like creating these crazy turnovers, whether he's scripting the ball away or it was just always something, and you don't see that from a defensive player. That's why he's always going to be in my top LSU. I got his jersey. He's like one of the only players in LSU jersey that I have. It was just amazing to me, man.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think me and Maryland brought up. We were just talking quarterbacks the other day, and I think we may have brought up Jamarcus Russell, stat wise, and some of the things he did at LSU too. Was off the charts too, man. A lot of people forget about that because of what happened later in his career. But Marcus was that dude, man.
He was that dude at LSU, and that's one of the years I think his senior year. I think that was 2009, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 2009. I think that was his last year at LSU. But that's one of the years I say LSU should have won a championship. I think Les Miles fumbled three national championships at LSU. I think he fumbled 2011 for sure. Jamarcus Russell's last year, I think it was 2009, and Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry, I think that was their junior year. I think they went to the NFL their junior year. I think that was 13. He fumbled in 2009, 11, and 13. Les Miles could have easily had 3 championships. Easy. And at that time, it's not like, college football really hadn't really even converted all the way to the spread yet. Like all you had to do was just get some type of offense going during that time. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It just Les Miles fumbled 3 championships. And Jamarcus Russell, I give you that. Russell, I would put Russell top 10 for sure. Jamarcus Russell's top 10 for sure. Yeah. The only reason why I won't give it to him all the way, I put Matt Flynn over Russell. I'm gonna tell you because I think Matt. Now I'm not talking talent wise. Come on now. I'm not talking talent wise, but if you look at what Flynn did in crunch time and on that 2007 championship that year, look at what he did that year. I mean, he was clutch that year, man. Them 2 losses wasn't because of him. It was kind of because of Les Miles and that conservative play style that he was calling at that time. Even that year with the great team with Glenn Dorsey, we still lost 2 games and won a national champion. I think we the only 2-loss team that has ever won a championship before. That year. That was a weird year, man. It was a talented team, but I'm gonna go with Flynn over him just because of the championship. That's all I would say. Now I think Jamarcus Russell should have won one. Because he was kind of before his time, man. He really was. If he had been put in a better offense, like a more modern offense, he easily wins a Heisman Trophy. Easy. Yeah. Because he actually could move a little bit around that time too.
Yeah. He kind of got caught up in that that old Les Miles Stone Age style offense where, they kind of wanted to hand the football off more, then kind of let him, get loose and do his thing. Wow. But I mean, he was solid, man. He was solid, bro. I'm with you on that one.
He was solid. I mean, but the thing about it, Russell, one of my favorite players. So for me, I never forget. But if you, like you said, if you ask a kid that, if y'all ask one of y'all kids that y'all coach, they're not gonna know who Russell is. Are they? Well, no, nah.
No.
They not. They probably like 4 or 5 years old when Russell was a quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that he
Most of those,
definitely he's top 10 for me.
and like you ask this generation, everybody's a Joe Burrow fan, which I'm a fan of Joe Burrow too, still. But man, like you say, the numbers, and then you know LSU fans are big on what you did for them as far as championships, that type of thing.
Exactly.
So if you
That's
can
the
win a
expectation.
championship, if you can win here, then come on, we ain't gonna ever forget you. But you know, a lot of people forget about Jamarcus Russell. I mean, you dig deeper. I mean, Mettenberg was the quarterback for that was actually Odell and Jarvis Landry's quarterback.
Yeah.
And if you look at his stats, he put up some numbers. But nobody thinks about that because, I mean, obviously that was, you know, 4-loss team.
But you got to think, if you if you take out Joe Burrow, let's pretend Joe Burrow never played at LSU. Do you remember what we had before then? Like Russell probably was the best quarterback ever up until Burrow got there. You know, just if we want to go just talent wise, he's the best quarterback ever. Now I give it to only reason why I'm giving it to Matt Flynn because he won a national championship and he made plays that year, like clutch plays. Like he brought us down the field against Florida on all them fourth down plays. Like I just think of him as that guy that got us there, you know. And Matt Mock, you know, in 03, I won't consider him in that just because it was that defense. Like like that's like 03, it was just that defense. I mean, we weren't that good on offense. It was just that defense. We had some backs and we had a defense that year. That's pretty much all it was, you know. But man, let's get into things a little bit, man. Let's see, we can try to get out of here, man. Let's talk about the college football playoff picture, man. Have y'all seen that at all?
Man, I've been looking at bits and pieces of it. I think the top 4 you got to go with. You got to go with Michigan, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan,
and well, let me read it off to you.
Alabama.
No,
so you got Bama in the top 4?
Oh well, Florida State. I mean, look, I think they.
Look, let me go ahead and read it out what they got here. Now, this is the AP. The AP got Georgia number 1, Ohio State number 2, Michigan number 3, Washington number 4. How y'all feel about that, man? They got Florida State.
I forgot Washington jumped Florida State the other night. Yeah, they did say that. I like the 4. Me personally, I mean, it's tough for Florida State because without the quarterback, I just don't see them being able to compete for a national championship now. But I like Georgia, I like Ohio State, and I like Michigan. Now the problem is, what are you gonna do? Because Michigan and Ohio State face off in a couple of weeks. So what are you gonna do?
They play this Saturday, don't they?
This Saturday.
They do. That's always the last game on their schedule. I think the winner is going to be in the playoff, and then the loser is probably not.
Michigan.
Because then you got to think, okay, let's look at it. So you got Florida State that's still undefeated. Now, you can't really judge Florida State off. Now, I would want to see them in the college football playoff because I want to see a good game. But if they win, and they probably still going to win out even with a backup quarterback. That's what it's looking like. You know what I'm saying? So what do you do with Florida State? And let's say Washington's probably going to win out. Ohio, you know, it's Georgia's going to win out for sure. Probably. I don't think Bama's going to beat Georgia. So are you going to give a one-loss team that over if we still got an undefeated team? Is that what you're going to do?
My thing is
if you know
nobody stumbles, like you said, if nobody stumbles, you're right. One of those two will be out.
They got to be. Because I don't think you put a one-loss Big Ten team over. I don't know if you put it over Oregon. If Washington, put it like this, if Washington wins out, there's no way we're gonna have two Big Ten teams. I don't think that's possible.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, Washington State next. That's it, I think, huh?
Yeah, it should be a rivalry game.
Yeah, the Apple Cup.
I don't think. Yeah, you can't do that though. If Washington wins out, Florida State wins out, I guess your top four has to be whoever wins out of the Ohio State Michigan game, and
Michigan.
obviously Georgia. And then you
See,
throw the other two undefeated teams in there. And I like it because it's a change up this year for a change. You get
it's a
some
change up.
kind
Now,
of
do
new
y'all think that?
faces.
But do y'all think that Washington can be a real threat though? Because we seen them maybe some years ago get in there against. I think they might have got Bama in the first round, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. And
Only reason I'm gonna say yeah, because bro, Washington has an offense.
they do.
After what I saw what CJ Stroud did to Georgia last year in the playoffs, I believe Washington can really do the same thing in the playoffs, regardless of who they playing. Honestly, now will they win? I doubt it, but I think they'll give them a game.
I think they got a chance though. I think they got a better chance than what everybody giving them, because if you look at all the teams that's in the playoff right now, then especially Florida State lost their quarterback. He went down. Man, that was a horrific injury, bro. I'm surprised they showed that on ESPN. Like they showed, I watched an LSU game and they brought that highlight in and they showed it. Like usually they'll block that type of stuff. Man, that was horrible.
Yeah, it was
That was
bad,
horrible.
man.
So
I hated to see that.
yeah, but then you look at the Big Ten teams. I don't really take them seriously this year because they haven't played anybody. If you look at Michigan's schedule, they haven't played anybody. Now, I think if Ohio State loses, I think they should get a chance to be in there. That I don't know. It's gonna be weird because I think Ohio State.
They did what?
I think Ohio State will have a better case if they lose in the Big Ten championship than what Michigan would have. Is what I'm saying, because Ohio State has that win against Notre Dame. Michigan hasn't. Let me read you Michigan's schedule this year. They haven't played anybody, man. Like the best school that they're gonna play this year is Ohio State, and Penn State. Penn State's never gonna beat Michigan or Ohio State. I don't think they've done it since they've been maybe once in the last 20 years has Penn State beat Ohio State or Michigan. You know what I'm saying? So
I think the committee go look at how close that game was though. It was against Penn State. It was only 24-15.
That's what I'm saying. So Michigan,
look at that too.
Michigan, they just don't impress me. They don't have the talent that some of these other teams have. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to see. But I would like Ohio State chances of, let's say they slip to Michigan and lose. I think they still have that. It'll be interesting, man. I don't think I really don't think that's going to have two Pac-12 teams in there. I mean, I'm sorry, I keep saying Pac-12, Big Ten teams because of how things are playing out with everybody else. Do you want to put them over? Do you want to take that one loss Big Ten team and put them over Oregon? I don't think so. I don't think you put them over Texas.
Yeah,
and you definitely not going to put them over Florida State if Florida State has a loss. Even because you can't. I don't think they can be biased toward the fact that Florida State lost their quarterback. I don't think they could do that. It's kind of like.
If they finish the season out undefeated, then you can't, dismiss them from playoff hunt just because of that. But back to Michigan though, didn't mean to cut you off. That style of football is so different.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get some low scoring games. It's not like a SEC football, the way SEC football is played now, where things are more spread out. You're putting up more.
They kind of playing it how we used to play it in SEC, pretty much.
Yeah. So Big Ten is kind of like that old SEC football. So now it's kind of, So I don't know, man. I'm kind of scared because I think if you get a Washington matchup with like a Georgia in the first round, I don't think they beat Georgia, man, because the defense is just, bro. That's some speed on that side of the ball, man.
I give them a better chance than I probably would have some years ago. I haven't seen a dominant defense this year in college football. I think anybody could be got this year. I'm just being honest with you. Last year, what I have said, Washington can beat Georgia, not even a chance. I wouldn't have put too many teams into the conversation to beat Georgia. But this year, watching some of the games they done had against South Carolina, against a couple most teams that I've seen, they don't scare me. They don't really have that guy on offense this year. They don't really scare me. That Georgia, I don't know. I think Washington can go up there and make it interesting, real interesting. I'm talking about maybe like 31-28 type of interesting. Like we sitting there watching the whole game. Like Georgia might get out to a little lead, but then Penn, I think I think they can start scoring on Georgia once they settle down. That's the type of game I think we can get with that. I wouldn't rule Washington out, man, because
I mean,
I just think anybody can be got this year.
and
I
I'm
just
with
think
you. I'm with you on that. I'm just, man, until I see it, it's just.
right.
I mean, every time we get that matchup with a out of conference team against a SEC school, then I see, and then it's just the matchups. I mean, they just don't match up well. You
They don't
know,
match up well.
I mean, it's even when you saw TCU,
Yeah.
Georgia last year.
We all
It
knew what was
just-
gonna happen with that, though. You knew
But
it.
but that TCU offense was, man, dangerous last year.
It was.
Right.
You know,
But Georgia was just that different last year, though.
they were, but
On defense.
I still feel like they reloaded, man. They may be a little younger, but it ain't like many teams that just went up and down the field on them now. I mean, yeah, they probably gave up more points than last year, but I mean, you got to look at it, bro. I don't think dudes just moving the ball on them like that now.
They not, because they still have that discipline.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell whatever he learned from whatever Kirby Smart learned from Nick Saban, he just took it to Georgia with him. Because Georgia looking just like Bama used to look. It's like, I remember years where LSU was clearly more talented than Bama, but we just literally got outcoached by them. Like,
Right.
they was more disciplined. They played more sound football. They played more assignment football, and they won the game. And we probably had this is the Odell Beckham years I'm talking about. Like, even those years where we clearly had the better time, I'm looking like, okay, we got I'm betting on the LSU. Like, okay, we got more talent. I think we're gonna beat Bama. I said that about 10 years straight, right? And they handled us about 10 years straight. You know,
Yeah.
but I don't feel that way this year about nobody. I'm just saying I would not be surprised if Washington is holding the trophy up. Like like, especially if they get the proper seeding. If they don't have to play Georgia the first round, and they not the fourth seed or Georgia slip. If they get, let's say they give who would be the first? Let me look at this one more time. Let's say they get a first seed to Ohio State. Now, I think Washington got a good chance against Ohio State, to be honest.
Oh yeah, that's a better matchup than them going first.
That's
round
a better matchup.
Georgia.
And then let's say somebody knocked Georgia off. Let's say Michigan knocked Georgia off. I think Washington can beat Michigan. I think this is set up real well for Washington, man. They just got to get the proper seeding. If they get the proper, if they get that third or Georgia slips, one of the two happen, we might be looking at Washington like, man, I can't believe Washington won that championship.
I think Georgia. I mean, if it plays out the way it's playing out now, one of those two teams, Ohio State or Michigan, loses, then you're talking about Washington probably in that 3 seed, probably, and then Florida State probably in that 4th seed, which that's a good draw for Washington. You're right.
Man, I'm telling you, if they get that 3rd seed, I think they can do it. If they get Georgia first round, I don't think so. I don't think so. But I think Georgia can be got this year. I just think the SEC was just that weak this year to where nobody really could really, especially in the East, nobody could really push them this year in the East. I think that's what Georgia. I think Georgia just got lucky this year, to be honest with you. They not what they was. I mean, they still a good football team. This year, I just have not been impressed from NFL to college. I have not been impressed with like one individual team this year. It's kind of all been the same, man. But let's move things along a little bit, y'all. Let's go. So going into next week for LSU, is this A&M game? Is A&M a must win for Brian Kelly, man?
Yeah.
From just total totality of the program, what you've seen the last 2 years at LSU, going into next year, going into what he want to see, what he's trying to create at LSU, is this a must win for the program, for recruiting, for name, image, and likeness, for just total prestige of LSU? Like, is this a must win? Because we going into next year, Texas is coming in. Oklahoma is coming in. It's going to be added pressure. We got a much tougher schedule next year. Like, is this a must win for Brian Kelly just for his legacy at LSU and what he want to do going forward?
No. Well, if he wants to finish the season like you said, if he wants to get to that 10-win season with including the bowl game, obviously, if he wants to finish that way, 10 wins is big. But I don't think it's a must win for him, to be honest with you. I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, once he tightens that defense up a little bit, because the offense, look, we saw what the offense could do. They ranked probably amongst the best in college football right now.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
if you think about him just adding a little touch to the defense and get some guys in the secondary, obviously, you're talking about a different season, man. So I'm not gonna go that far and say. I mean, maybe y'all could disagree with me, but I don't. I'm not
I
gonna
don't.
go that far and say a must win.
I don't think it's a must win because I'm looking at it. If you really try to look at it from a recruit standpoint, I mean, hell, the offense speaks for itself.
Yeah.
I mean, if you whatever quarterback you recruiting, the quarterbacks ought to be looking at they trying to like, oh man, I might be running this type of offense. Then you see how they spreading the ball around to all the receivers. You get the top receivers, they'll come in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily say it's a must win, but the must win need to be in the offseason recruit. That's the must win for them right there.
But see, that's kind of what the question is asking because we competing with A&M right now. A&M got the most money in the SEC as far as don't you saw what they happily paid Jimbo Fisher $76 million to get out the door.
Yeah.
I said earlier, imagine any job telling you, well, look, thank you for your service. You got, let's say, I don't know, let's say he's on salary and you got like a 5-year salary. Let's talk about a regular job. And they tell you, well, we're going to pay you the rest of your years on your contract and goodbye. Man, could you imagine that, bro? Like, they're just giving you 3 years of pay, like just walking out. I'd have famously walked out of some jobs before. Told everybody what I had to tell them. I've been waiting to tell them for years. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine if you had that type of power and you knew you were still gonna get your man. I let everybody have it, man. So I don't think that's necessarily out of the question to LSU, and I don't think Brian Kelly has the least that y'all think he got. Now, is he coming back next year? Absolutely. He ain't doing anything to lose his job this year. But if we lose the A&M, just think about I'm talking about optics here. If we lose the A&M twice, 2 years in a row, how does that look on it? It may be 3 years now. I'm not sure that we beat them a year, but no, we did. I think we had
the year before, yeah.
We did because I think we still had Max Johnson at that time. He threw that walk-off touchdown. But I think optics-wise, I think this is a must-win, but from the standpoint of the state of the program, you see how bad and we look on defense. I don't think us losing and finishing with first of all, it's not gonna help Jaden Daniels' Heisman chances either. Losing first and foremost, it's gonna be it's more important for Daniels than it is for Brian Kelly. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think he can just go out here and lose this game. And put it like this. I'm gonna say it like this, and y'all can chime in after this. If he loses this game, his leash next year gonna be a lot tighter than y'all think. It's gonna be a lot tighter than you think because you had a championship quarterback. Look, you had a championship quarterback, championship offense. You couldn't even spy Jalen Milroe in the Alabama game. I mean, you couldn't call that down from a head coaching standpoint. This man is killing us. He couldn't throw a rock in the ocean that night. You know what I'm saying? Like, he couldn't hit the red side of a ball. Like, nothing he was doing deep was working. So why not focus on spying this man? It's just simple stuff like that I think LSU fans is getting aggravated with. I don't think his leash. I think this is a make or break game for him going forward. Now, if he come out next year and win the national championship with Gary Nussmeier, I won't say another word. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think we're not gonna be. I think Neighbors is gone. I think Thomas is gone. Why not? They both are projected to go in the first round. Right? They gone. We're not returning them. We're not returning Daniels. 80% of our production is gone for next season. We're not gonna be as talented as we. The defense not getting any better anytime soon. Now, I do like those freshman cornerbacks. I think they should have went that way a long time ago. I mean, these guys played a lot better than what I've seen at the beginning of the season. Toviano and what's the other guy name? The other corner.
The one that's out right now.
No, not Harris. Please don't say Harris.
You don't like Denver Harris?
Not right now. I think and another problem I said, I think we have to go get another DB coach because I'm gonna tell you why. Some of the things I'm saying fundamentally from the DBs is like why are you? It don't make a lot of sense. We playing so far off the receiver. We're giving away hitches like. I mean, we're giving away 5 yards every down and distance that we get. As soon as we get a first down, it's like as soon as the team get a first down, it's like we just give them another 5 on second down. So I think it's a lot of pressure on Brian Kelly to get it right sooner than later, man. Because like I said, defense is not getting any better. It's still gonna be young next year. I don't see the D line getting any better. He's gonna have to win in the transfer portal, man. if he don't win in the transfer portal, if LSU is in the top 5 transfer portal team this year, there's no way we're gonna win that shit. So that's why I think this game here is kind of gonna tell where this program is going, man. Because A&M got the money to out recruit us every year. I seen a graphic. The average player on A&M team is making like 6 figures, like over well into the 100,000. The average. I'm not talking about the quarterback or the top cornerback, the top defensive lineman. I'm talking about the average player. Like that's the average of they NIL deals. That's the salary, in other words, for they play. Like I want to say it's like 110,000, which is one of the highest in the country. LSU is only about half of that, about 60,000 a year. Okay, if you're a 5-star athlete, I don't care how much I love LSU. I would seriously have to think about going to A&M over LSU if I'm gonna make twice as more money.
All right, stop right there. So go back to last year when Texas A&M had the best recruiting class in the country, probably the last 10, 15 years. Right. You paid the kids all that money. Why did all of them end up transferring? And why the program is like it is now? Give me an answer for that one.
I think it could be 2 things. First of all, I don't think the coach was a proper fit over there. I don't think the players enjoy playing for that coach, because at the end of the day, if you got that many guys and you got an awesome coach, let's say Nick Saban's over there at Alabama, just throw him out there, the greatest coach of all time, and they had that type of money, I don't think those players leave. Because if you're getting paid, you're winning, and you're being coached right, it's no reason for you to leave that type. It has something toxic had to be going on over there for you to be getting some of the highest NIL deals in the country. You know, all them kids signed. I mean, people say what they want to say. I don't want to say that the kids went for the money, but I can't blame them. The money had to have. A&M never had a top in the nation recruiting class, to my knowledge. Not in the time that I've been living. You know, so I think it was more of them not wanting to play for him. It had to be in that situation. They're not winning.
Why would you still go there if you didn't want to play for them? And the money, we don't know how the money situation is. You could be getting paid once a month. But if you signed the scholarship to go there, you're supposed to be projected up for 3 or 4 years.
Right.
And you didn't like the fact, or if they didn't like Jimbo Fisher, why would you still go there? Man, and now you transfer to another program, you probably ain't getting near as how much money you was getting at A&M.
And that could be the case. But still, I still think the amount of resources they got at A&M is always going to be a threat. That's why I think this rivalry, because they trying to fake a rivalry between us and A&M. I don't think LSU fans is really that worried about A&M, to be straight up honest with you. You know, we got bigger fish to fry than Bama and Auburn and all them other schools that we like to play. You know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying, Coach. LSU is a bigger name in college football than A&M, but it's important that we get the upper hand in this. Because, man, look, some of the background some of our kids come from. And I honestly think if they see, okay, well, I can make twice as much shit, it's gonna be hard not to go that way. It's gonna be hard. Mama might have a situation, anything. You know, we all come from black families. You know how it could be. You know, whatever the case may be. So I'm just saying we got to get the upper hand in this thing, especially if we're not able to provide some of the resources A&M can provide for the kids. That's all I'm saying. Like, something had to happen, because I honestly, when I seen A&M had a number 1 recruiting class, and I knew the type of money they had out there, I said, well, it'll be good for now, but I guarantee most of these kids transfer. Because if you got too much talent in one building, I mean, it's not gonna be somebody gonna want to play. You know, especially today's kids, they want to play. So they're not gonna go if they see they got a sophomore cornerback starting and he got 2 more years, and you a freshman and you on the bench, or junior corner and you on the bench, what you gonna do? You a 5-star athlete, you on the bench. They gonna. I think it's gonna be a problem for everybody going forward, man. I just think it's a little more. I think it's more. As far as Brian Kelly goes, I think this is a win that he has to win, because if we lose this, we might end up in the bowl game next week or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not gonna be no January bowl game. We're gonna be playing next week. We might get
New York. I didn't think they would play the New York 6 Bowl anyway.
Huh?
I didn't think they was gonna play the New York 6 Bowl anyway.
It's possible because I think we'd be the second SEC team. Ole Miss might have us, honestly, in the West. I think we might be the second in the West right now. It's possible. I'm not sure how that's gonna go, but I think it's gonna be a little more critical than we think. But let's go to the next question, man. LSU versus Texas A&M. Who wins and why, man? Who y'all got next week in College Station?
Wait, the game at College Station?
They in Baton
I do
Rouge.
believe so. Somebody says let me double check that. I
No,
thought it was in
it's at
Tiger.
home. It's at LSU.
That's
Is
in
that
Baton
LSU?
Rouge.
Let me check.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought. Yeah, I thought they finished. That was senior. That's gonna be senior day, huh?
seen that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it is in Death Valley. It is. Somebody
So
dude said that it was an A&M, and I ran
so
with it.
so LSU gets the upper hand. Is at home. I know for sure A&M can't stop Jay Daniels. They ain't gonna be able, they won't be able to stop that offense. Period.
Yeah.
They
Obviously
struggled with
defense.
Abilene Christian yesterday.
Yeah, I know, right? So now defensively, I don't think either one of us can stop anybody because we let Georgia State just run up and down the field on us that first drive.
We did.
Actually, the first
First
two
quarter,
drives.
really. First
Yeah,
quarter.
first quarter, if you want to go there for
First
yeah.
quarter, I thought it was gonna be interesting, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, you up it's 14-14 with Georgia State. You like, come on, man. But I'm going LSU. Obviously, I mean, we hometown guys, so we got to go LSU. And I don't even think it's close, to be honest with you.
No, I don't think. I think LSU leads by 2 scores at least.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna give us a better game than what we think because they have confidence in this rivalry since I think they may have the upper hand since they've been in the SEC. No, I want to say it's either tie or LSU might have got them by a game since they've been in the SEC. So
Right.
I think it's gonna be a look closer than what it is. But I think as long as Jaden Daniels be Jaden Daniels, I think LSU got this game easily because we all seen Max. I'm not sure if Max is still a quarterback or not by now, but we all seen Max Johnson, pretty good quarterback, but I don't think he could push the field on our defense like some of these other quarterbacks been doing. So I don't know, man. But I think as long as Jaden Daniels be Jaden Daniels, our defense, I'm gonna stick with it. 2 stops and a turnover. LSU wins every game this year. If the defense would have got 2 stops and a turnover, I want you to think about every game we played this year, and I think that effectively gets us ahead at least by a score with that philosophy. 2 stops and a touchdown. You go into the Ole Miss game. If we get 2 stops and a turnover, we win that game. If you go to the Florida State game, 2 stops and a turnover, we win that game. Who else we are with? Bama. 2 stops and a turnover, we win the Bama game easily. It's not even close, probably. So I think Jaden Daniels being himself and 2 stops and a turnover, man.
I'm with you. I agree with that. I mean, I never looked at it like that, but I agree. I agree with you on that. 2 stops and a turnover would have changed a lot of ball games for him. But as you look at it, the Ole Miss game was close. Florida State game was close for a while until they ran off with it towards the end.
Right.
But like you said, if you can just get off the field as a defense, 2 stops, you're right. If I get off the field 2 series and get that ball back in my offensive hand 2 times, that's a whole different ball game.
Because you got to think, it seemed like Jaden Daniels probably scored on 80% of the drives this year.
Yeah.
And the number could be higher than that. I mean, truly, it could be a higher number than that. I think he's probably scored on 80% of the time he got the ball this year. Only game I could think otherwise is maybe that Florida State game. Maybe the Florida State game. That's the only one I could think of where he didn't do what he wanted to do.
Right.
It just our defense couldn't stop anybody, man. But I think LSU definitely has the upper hand. I would love to see those. And you might well say Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas are seniors too, because they're not coming back. I would love to see those last year guys. I would say go ahead and get them, a win on senior night. It'll be good for the program, man. Like I said previously in that last quarter, I think it'll be big for the program, man, because we can't let them get the upper hand. They already got the money on us. You know what I'm saying? You can't. It's not gonna be a good look. It's just not gonna be a good look. They got that money and they got the upper hand on us. The last couple of years, it's just not gonna be a good look. And I don't think they should have got us the years they got us. Even remember, Joe Burrow's junior year, I think it was. They ended up getting us in that crazy overtime game. It was like 77-74 the final score. It was crazy. Watching that live was just crazy, man. I'm like, what is going on? Somebody got to stop somebody. You know what I'm saying? It was the craziest game ever, man. But we're gonna get out of here. I got one more question, man. This is pertaining to our Saints. Our Saints was off this week, bro. Our Saints was off this week, and I really didn't know that until like 12 o'clock. I started looking for the game. I'm like, man, what's going on? Man? I didn't know we was off, so I'm sitting there getting prepared and everything, bro. Come to find out, I had to text my dad. I said, the Saints off today or what, man? And he already knew. He didn't tell me, but he got me up and gearing up and everything. He came by last night to come watch the game. the LSU game. He ain't mentioned nothing. He know I'm gonna forget. So I'm over here just gearing up and come to find out we got a bye week, man. But going back to that Minnesota game, car go down, Winston comes in, and Winston seemed like he just, y'all coaches, y'all done seen when certain guys go down and maybe the team favorite, man, let's say it's a quarterback. Sometimes the team favorite may not be the starting quarterback in some cases. That's what it kind of felt like when Jameis came in. It's like everybody started to respond. Like Alvin Kamara kind of bit his chin strap a little harder, tighten his chin strap a little harder, and everybody you could see it. You could see that you could see the guys that got that energy from Jameis, man. It even though he made some very crucial Jameis Winston type mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was almost textbook Jameis Winston. But he came out firing, and then he just gave some interceptions. Like, what are you doing, bro? All that was great that you showed us the first two drives, and then you just seem like typical Jameis stuff, man. So Winston or Carr next week versus Falcon. Who should be our starter? I'm gonna start Coach Maryland on this. Who should be our starting quarterback?
James Winston. James Winston. I can't emphasize enough. I truly believe they should have just stuck with James Winston this year. I believe that Derek Carr ain't doing nothing. I mean, he basically robbing the Saints. Honestly, he hasn't done nothing that'll tell you, be like, oh man, yeah, he's the future for us. No, absolutely not. James Winston, that's what should be the starting quarterback from here on out for the Saints. But Dennis Allen, it seemed like Dennis Allen must got something against James Winston, man. Because the first question they asked in his press conference last week was, are you going to stick with James? He said, no, Derek Carr's our starter. So he must have something against James Winston, man.
I'm going to add to that. I felt that because okay. Mind you, the season that Sean stepped down, Jameis had got hurt early in that season. He had and I brought this up in the past, he had 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions that year. His passing numbers wasn't that great, but he was just on. Like, he did everything the team asked him to do. Like, he didn't play beyond the game like you see him playing now. Like, he's forcing things. He wasn't forcing anything. He was being a game manager, and it was working. And he had 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He went down on that. I think it was either a Sunday night game or a Monday night game against the Patriots. I'll never forget. And going into that next year, we're like, okay, when Jameis come back, we're gonna be all right, And that season they started with Jameis. Jameis did struggle in those early games, but it was kind of like you could see that he just needed to get his footing. He didn't have Sean Payton wasn't there. It wasn't the same offense anymore. It was, Carmichael been with him all that years, but you could see that it wasn't the same offense. And I feel like they gave him a very short leash that season. Because if you remember, Jameis was actually hurt that season that Dalton took over. When Dalton took over, Jameis had some back spasms. Something was going on with his back. And Jameis had got healthy toward the end of the season, but they didn't go back to Jameis like they went back with Carr. If you remember that. Now, Dalton was playing pretty good, but was it outstanding? Like, he wasn't playing outstanding football to where I thought Jameis had earned that the year before the way he started that season, 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I feel like I'm with you on the Dennis Allen hate, bro, because it's like when he took over, he kind of went away from the Jameis Winston playing altogether. And it was kind of shaping up for that to be Jameis' team. Everybody on the team kind of seemed like they respond to him. Jameis Winston can be a little quirky, you know what I'm saying? But it's effective though.
Yeah.
In a sense, because it seemed like we out and play football. Like, them teammates that fired you up and you wanted to play, you ain't mind them being the leader. You just wanted to, they pretty much had that presence.
Right.
It just seemed like to me he got that presence when he walked on the field. It's like you see how the team responded. Like, we had been kind of stalling on offense. Like, we are getting we're getting the red zone and struggle. At least what I see with Jameis, he gives the receivers a chance to make a play, for better or worse. You know what I'm saying? For better or worse, it's like he gonna give his guys an opportunity. And what I was playing to my Uncle Darren. I should have sent him the link today, by the way. I was playing to my Uncle Darren. I said, he kind of like on the Carr bandwagon a little bit. He likes Derek Carr, but I was trying to tell him. I said, man, it's like with Carr, he doesn't. Sometimes he plays a little too safe, if that makes sense. Like, I want to see you throw the ball up and give Michael Thomas a 50-50 ball and see what happens. Like, I want to see it. Like, why not? Like, he won't give him that opportunity. And you can see immediately, because that game had been blown wide open from the beginning. Like, Dobbs came out balling. I think they got maybe like a 17-3 lead on us at one point. You know what I'm saying? They came and blew the game wide open. And it's like when James got on the field, you can just see it. Okay, he making the throw. He driving us down the field. You see the pace. You see, in my opinion, I think you got to go with. And I can't believe that our boy Dennis Allen said that. I can't believe he's still considering this. Like after what we've seen, like Carr has had like a better couple weeks, I would say, but it's not nothing. It's nothing impressive, man. I don't know. It's nothing impressive.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, I'm I'm kind of on the fence with that one too because I'm a huge fan of Carr, and I mean I love to watch Jameis Winston play, but it's almost when you see Winston get in, you kind of like you tense up, you kind of almost hold your breath, like, all right, man.
Yeah.
We know you're gonna make the big throws down the field, but we also know that, we also know that it's a possibility that you make a throw that you shouldn't make, that you forcing a ball. Because I mean, even the touchdown he threw against Minnesota, I don't know who caught that ball, but he threw a touchdown against Minnesota, and he was actually
probably A.T. Perry.
Olave.
It was Olave and Perry.
And Perry caught a ball. But the balls that he threw, it was so wild that it was like he was throwing across his body one time. And it was almost one of them throws that you like, oh, man. And then you see Olave come down. Now the ball that he threw to Olave actually was a nice one. But that A.T. Perry ball was kind of like.
You should never threw that ball.
Man, you should have never threw that ball. Your receiver just was a better dude that day. You know what I'm saying?
It was a better dude that day. But that's kind of like the story of Jameis Winston's career, though. If you really think about it, like he had Mike Evans all them years. Mike Evans just kind of, I ain't gonna lie, Mike Evans probably saved him a lot of the times in Tampa Bay for something like. But I just think with this team, I think if you have a great defense, you should take a guy who is more high reward, high risk type of guy. I wouldn't mind. I mean, for instance, look at Brent Favre. Brent Favre was the same type of quarterback. People don't want to admit it, but Brent Favre was Jameis Winston. He just had a look better. He had better teams coming into the NFL. That made Favre. Favre was in a better organization with the Packers. Favre was just like that, just like maybe worse to a certain extent. To be honest with you, Favre would do crazy stuff, never get benched. You know what I'm saying? But I just think Jameis, man. I think Jameis, and I truly believe if Dennis Allen doesn't win a playoff game, I think this is over with for him. Period. We can even make the playoffs. If we lose in the first round, I think Dennis Allen up out of here. I think he got a very short leash. Short leash.
Yeah, I think by him sticking. I mean, I asked Dave this question earlier, and it's on the same subject. But I asked him earlier. I said, "Man, you think the Saints did better waiting on Derek Carr and signing Derek Carr? Because Garoppolo was linked to the Saints for a while too.
That'd have been a horrible decision too, though.
And that would have been a horrible decision. I thought Derek Carr was just your best option at the time. Because like he said, I think one of y'all just said it. I don't think Dennis Allen is a fan of Jameis Winston for some reason. And I thought, me personally, I think he might be the better fit because he does push the ball down the field. He opens your offense up a little more than Derek Carr would. Because, I mean, if you think about Andy Dalton, Derek Carr's just a better version of Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton played it safe. He didn't want to throw the ball down the field.
And a slight better version of because I probably would take Andy Dalton last year over Derek Carr this year.
Oh yeah.
To be honest with you, at this point, because Dalton had some games he just couldn't finish, but Dalton had some games like okay, I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? I'll take the little pass. So Dalton didn't play that terrible that year, and I guess that's what kind of made Dennis Allen have the wherewithal to keep him in over Winston, but it's pretty much the same situation though, right? Winston, it's the same situation in reverse. Winston went down because of injury. You put Dalton in. Carr went down because of injury. You put Jameis in, but now you're going back to Carr. So his coaching logic doesn't make any sense right now. You see what I'm saying? Because they always say in football you're not supposed to lose your job because of injury. You know what I'm saying? And I think with this. But I just think eye test. I'm not sure if this coming down from the GM, like trying not to make the GM look bad for giving Derek Carr all that money. I'm not sure what it is. I think it might be ego coming into play here, to be honest. I think Dennis Allen has something to do with getting Carr there because he drafted him and everything like that. So I don't know, man. It's just weird to me that we haven't tried something different, because we haven't got a lot with what we already have. So why not try? Why not give Jameis a start? Let's just put Derek Carr on the injury list for the week and say, well, he got this. Let's just see Jameis Winston, a full game of Jameis Winston. Let's see it, because we pretty much still in contention right now. I think we still got the division lead, if I'm not mistaken. Are we tied?
we
right?
do. No, we still got it because the Buccaneers lost today.
So there you go. So we still in the thick of things. So why not see? Really, I felt like when he went down, when was that? It was a couple of weeks ago. He went down again. I thought we should have gave Jameis the chance then to see what Jameis did instead of rushing Carr back, because it was one game of Carr where you could tell he was still hurt. He wasn't 100%.
Yeah. I mean, you talking about was it a shoulder injury that time, or was it?
It was the shoulder injury, and they kind of rushed him back the next week, and I didn't think that was necessary because we got a capable quarterback in Jameis Winston.
Right.
It was just weird to me, and I'm a second with Coach. I'm gonna go with Coach Madison. I think he don't like Jameis Winston because it's just too much that it's a weird situation, man. It's just a very weird situation, man.
I know Jameis was signed by Sean Payton, so that was a Sean Payton guy. So I don't know if that is the problem if he just doesn't like it because that's
it gotta be though. It gotta be.
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question, man.
It's a good question, man. But shout out to Jonathan Cyprian. He said, "What's up, man? What's your coach D and what's your coach sibling?" Jonathan, shout out to my cousin Jonathan.
Blue, Big Blue. What's up, baby?
I talked to that fool earlier this week, man. We always talk sports, man. But like I said, I appreciate y'all joining me. I got an early flight, man. I got a 6:30 flight. That means I got to be up about 4:00 in the morning, going down to New Orleans, bro. Man, I appreciate y'all joining, man. So we're gonna keep it short and sweet, man. Shouts out to y'all boys next week. And y'all got Late Charles. What was Late Charles
College Pro?
These names now, man. They gotta abbreviate that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, man, shouts out to y'all boys, man. I hope y'all get that win, man. I wish I could be in town for that. I really do, but when Duda calls, you gotta go to work, man. So I'm gonna go to work.
Bro, I don't blame you though, dude. You
most definitely. I wanted to be at that Bayou Classic this week, really, to be honest with you. I had every plan on being at the Bayou Classic, but things changed, man. So shout out to everybody in this live right now. We had Coach Sibley of U-High, Coach David Marion of U-High as well, man. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to them next week in the playoffs, man. Best of luck to y'all boys, man. I'm gonna get out of here, man. Because I keep talking. I told my old lady I'm gonna do an hour today. Here we is at 2 hours, so she good and mad at me right now. So man, as I said, shout out to y'all boys, man. See y'all. Hopefully see y'all next week. I'm gonna take the show on the road next week, man. So if y'all want to jump on, holler at me, man. We can do it again, man.
All right, appreciate you.
Hey, good luck to y'all boys.
All right, brother.
Already. Thank y'all for tuning in to North of the Lake, man. This was episode 10, man. Shouts out to Coach Maryland. Shout out to Coach Sibley, man. Thank them for joining us weekly, man. So shout out to them and they playoff run. Shout out to their kids, man. Shout out to everybody who joined this live, man. Y'all please like, share, subscribe on YouTube. That's NOTL Mon on YouTube. I'm gonna be short and sweet tonight. Well, short as I could. I said an hour, but I did 2 hours, man. Shout out to my boy Corey Webb, Jaden Dance for Heisman. Shout out to my coach Robert Dames, man. Shout out to my cousin Adrian Cyprian. Everybody who joined this live, man. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to my cousin Jonathan as well, man. Y'all have a good week. Tomorrow's Monday. Monday's a work day. I got that early flight, man. So I'm about to continue to pack in. Y'all pray for me. Pray for traveling grace for me. I'm going to pray that y'all got to have a fantastic week, a blessed week, and do whatever you can do. Take care of your family, man. Monday is a work day. I'm signing out. I'll see y'all next week. That's every Sunday at 7 p.m., man. Let me check my comments on YouTube. No comments on YouTube. No comments on Facebook. I thank y'all for tuning in, man. North of the Lake Weekly Sports Talk with your boy Money. This is episode 10, man. Y'all be good, man.